Hi guys, thanks for checking the video out. So the Masters is just finished. Great event. Deserving winner. Team Callaway. Danny Willett. Congratulations. But through the week, there were a few issues in my opinion with putting. So you got Jordan Spieth using a standard putter, holing the world, fantastic on the greens. But then you had Bernard Langer that was kind of still using a long putter. And then you had Ernie Els with his kind of crazy six putt on the very first hole on Thursday. So it kind of highlights to me, they obviously, end of last year, they banned the belly putter or the long putter, or they banned anchoring. But you can kind of, is it a good thing or is it a bad thing? Is basically what this video is about. Because watching Ernie, when he missed those putts, it was the yips. So if people aren't aware, it's like, that's a psychological thing. I would probably put it down in behavioural psychology. It's actually, you get scared to be able to do the movement. You can't actually do it. So darts, dartitis. You'll hear people, they can't let go of the dart. You have in snooker, people can't do it. It's a massive problem. And if a long putter or a belly putter helps somebody in that situation, surely they should be allowed to use it. And this is not necessarily a guy on tour. I'm saying you're amateur, because watching Ernie, and to Ernie's credit, he did great after that hole. I mean, he only shot, I think, 1 over from that point, and his actual putting stats weren't too bad. But if you've got an average person doing that on the very first hole, I don't think they're going to want to play golf for much longer. So surely, if anchoring actually allows that person to play and enjoy our game, surely it could be a benefit. And it's an interesting one with the belly putters or the anchoring, because it's hard to argue, does it help, does it not? You'll see a lot of the tour guys that were using belly putters and have just gone back to the normal one, not really seeing that big a difference. I mean, they're feeling it's okay. And if you use me as an example, when I was an amateur, this is my putter. Do you mean this is what I use for? I didn't use it for a great deal, but I did use it. But I used it to try and improve my performance. My putting is always been a weaker element of my game, and I certainly didn't have the yips. I didn't have a psychological thing going on that wasn't allowing me to do it. I just wasn't very good at it. So you could argue for me, I was trying to find performance. So if it's unfair that I can gain performance from one of these, you could then say, yeah, fair enough, they should be banned. I found I didn't really make that much difference. People thought I went to it because I was struggling with short putts, and that wasn't the case. I actually felt more vulnerable with short putts, but I was really finding striker problem. I was miss-hitting putts, and if you're miss-hitting putts, you're always going to have a poor roll, and it's very hard to control the pace. So as a result, obviously, I was missing loads from sort of 10 feet and out, because you could never get the ball going on the line that you wanted, because obviously, if the pace is changing, the breaks are changing. So that was the reason why I went to it. But yeah, it was certainly a performance reason. Whereas if you look at Ernie, looking very yippy, and Bernard Langer as well. Bernard Langer really struggles with the short one. So, and I would say, obviously there's that performance element, but it's actually ingrained a bit deeper than that. You could, Tim Clark, the good South African golfer, he has a problem with his arms. He's saying he struggles to putt because of, I don't think he can do this. I think he struggles with rotation in his forearms or something like that. So again, that's not a performance problem. Are you stopping somebody enjoying our game? And again, I've just used tour examples, but I'm thinking this is more for the amateur. And it was really interesting with the actual ruling, and so the kind of the way that they've defined what anchoring is, because Bernard kind of holding it like that and not actually pressing it into his chest has been deemed okay. And correct me if I'm wrong, and if you really clued up on this, the way that I've read the rule is basically you can't pin your upper arm against your torso, because that counts as anchoring. So technically, if Bernard does that, so in this instance, the hand is a lot further away from the chest or the chin, that effectively is anchoring. Plus what it means is if you've got somebody that's got a really wristy stroke, effectively they could pin their arms against them, and under the rule that's anchoring even though they're using a standard length putter. So the ruling is a bit ambiguous in my opinion. There's probably reasons behind that, because it's quite a difficult one to say. And if you ban, let's say, length, that means you might have got a lot of people that were using longer clubs and now they can't use their clubs. And again, that's all obviously not a good thing. But yeah, it's an interesting topic. And again, it's not just about the performance. Has banning it actually excluded some people that were enjoying their golf or just like playing golf or potentially would take up golf? And is it the right decision? Were people getting crazy benefits from a performance standpoint? I've looked at the data. It doesn't really look like that to me. I think the governing body's got a bit scared when we had that period where Ernie won with the belly putter, Keenan Bradley, Webb Simpson. I think there was one other as well. I think all four were possibly with guys with belly putters, and again, I think that scared them a bit. But if you looked at how they won, and I know it was certainly the case. Adam Scott. Sort of forgot about Adam. But again, when you looked at their stats, they hadn't won the event because they'd outperformed everyone else with the putter. Golf's far more complicated than that. And I know when Ernie won, and obviously Adam Scott came second, I know both of their putting stats were nowhere near the top. I'm not saying they were down at the bottom, but they weren't out at the top. They weren't outperforming the guys that are good with a standard putter. So yeah, it's a really complicated one, and I can kind of, like, from the traditionist standpoint, I can kind of understand why they might have made that decision, but I think it's quite tough, and it shows you with rules, you don't want it to be ambiguous, but then if you put it in as a real black and white, you then go, well, hang on, now you're excluding the guy that holds it this way. So yeah, real complicated one. Obviously you can hold it down your arm, which I would argue is probably as much as anchoring as you possibly could do, because you're basically making that club feel like an extension of your arm. So again, how's that not anchoring, whereas that isn't anchoring, but then that is doing it? It's just all a bit confusing. But yeah, just wanted to kind of open up a debate, really. They're kind of my views on it. If you've got some views, get some comments down below. If you don't care at all, and I think some people don't. I mean, especially when it comes to equipment and techniques, people just go, you know what, I'll just go out and do what I want to do, and I'll go out and try and enjoy my golf. Are you that person? Yeah, get some comments down below. Like I said, in the Masters, a tournament that's renowned for its greens and how hard the greens are, I just thought it was quite interesting. The Ernie incident, Bernard doing well. You mean you had Adam Scott there using a short one? He actually looked like he was struggling, although he's won 2 events this year, so he can't be struggling that much. And so again, God, it's confusing topic. Get some comments down below. Thanks for watching. Hope to catch you soon.